How you guys doing? This is Jason with Tuna Tech, and today we're playing games. Okay, so what do I mean by that? So you can use a cell phone to play games, your Xbox, your computer, a lot of things, Steam Decks, Game Boys, whatever you want. I mean, Game Boy's kind of dated, but there's been an explosion of these Android handhelds. Now, I know what you're saying. You can throw a controller on your phone and it's a lot more powerful. And I do not disagree with that, but there is a place and a time for these devices. One such company is Anbernic. They've been around for a long time, and this is their latest version. One thing you got to realize about these gaming handhelds is that they're not usually powerhouses. There is a company that makes what's known as the Odin 2 and the Odin 2 Mini. Those are also Android devices that run a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So that's pretty cool. This does not run. So this is the Anbernic RG556. This is their latest, I would say mid-range. It's under 200 bucks. It comes in black or translucent blue. I got the translucent blue, which can be hit or miss. It's got a 5.48 inch AMOLED screen, and it's full 1080p. So the AMOLED's interesting on these devices, especially these lower end ones. You usually get this cheap LCD stuff, and it's not as great. But either way, that's about 5.4 inch 1080p, 60 hertz. It has a Unisoc T820 processor, which is 6 nanometers. It's an octa-core running at a highest at a 2.7 gigahertz. And it's got a quad-core Mali-G57 850 megahertz GPU. Now, what the hell is that? I can't tell you. What I can tell you is it's not going to be a powerhouse, but for most retro gaming, which is what this device is made for, you should be able to play up to like PS2 and GameCube and Dreamcast, some of those stuff. Not all of it, but some of it. It's got 8 gigabytes of LPDDR 4X, 120 gigabyte UFS 2.2. It runs Android 13, which is nice. So it does come with Android, so you can kind of like use it as anything else you'd like to use it for that involves Android. And I'm just kind of unboxing it while we talk here, and you can see right here, that is what the device looks like. It's got 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 5.0, and then it can play Android games. It's got 30 plus emulators, and it supports users to download related and formatted games. So a lot of these things you guys play what's known as ROMs. Legalities aside, they do offer this device right off the rip. This is $166 right now on sale as of June, towards the end of June. And you can get other options too, like they have the black version. This is the blue translucent, like I said, the black version. Then they come with either 128 or 256 gigabyte storage card, which includes some games. And as you can see looking around this device, you can see that it got blue, obviously, and translucent. It kind of feels tacky a little bit. You got your select buttons here, you got joysticks, you got your D-pad, you got a R button, which kind of takes you into their overlay so you can play games, and a home button, and then SE and ST, and then on the top you got a fan port, volume, power, and you can see in the back there you got the fan. It looks like 2 down firing speakers. You got a headphone jack, USB Type-C, and then this is the SD card slot. And like I said, this is the blue version. So the one downside to this, and I'll try to turn it on, is around these things there's some RGB, and it kind of goes everywhere because of the translucent nature, whereas the black, which I'll show a picture here if I remember on the corner here, how it's a little more subdued, a little more controlled. I picked this because the black seems to have more fingerprint retention, whereas this one doesn't, and that's something that I'd rather deal with. So in the box you also get cleaning wipes for a screen protector, quick start guide. I'm going to assume this is the charging cable, which is weird because a lot of stuff I've seen so far, they separate it out into a box, but A to C charging cable. And I did get the version with some ROMs on it. This is the 256 gigabyte version, so it comes with like 4,000, 8,000 games. I don't know if they're going to be knockoffs. More than likely they will be. Probably some duplicates. But this is generally what the Anbernic RG556 is. So just again, it's a real quick overview. It's blue, translucent blue. And you got some trigger buttons here. Nice tactile feel. I mean, nothing seems cheap. It's plastic, but this at $166 plus about $20 to ship here to US. It's not cheap, but it's also not expensive. Whereas the Odin, I believe, is starting at $300 up. But again, you're gonna have more power. So let me power this up and see if it starts up, and then we'll go from there. All right, guys, so I got it turned on. The screen's kind of bright. I don't know if I can really lower it. There we go. Maybe that'll be a little better to see. But as you can tell, it's running Google. It's touchscreen, and it's got like a wallpaper that's kind of, got some animation. You got your typical stuff here, and as you can see, what I was talking about, how it kind of lights up around this, but it's so bright that it kind of seeps through the clear case. But what I was going to tell you about this button right here takes you into their retro setup process, and I'm going to go through all this, and then there you go. So I skipped through it real quick, but you see NES, and basically once you load an SD card with all the games, it'll automatically add them into this. Now, I've seen better launchers than this, but this is pretty basic, I mean, you click on it. Obviously, I don't have any games, but it seems pretty basic, but the screen is beautiful, you guys. I mean, the ergonomics are really good. Just to give you a heads up too, these are Hall joysticks and Hall triggers. It's got a 6-axis gyroscope sensor and dual vibration motor, so you can feel some of the games that support it. You can do streaming. Now, there have been some issues of people saying the Wi-Fi wasn't as strong, but if you do like NVIDIA streaming or Xbox streaming or PlayStation, this would be a decent device to do that with. It does do 5G, so it shouldn't be a problem. And like I said, it's got Bluetooth, so you can hook up your favorite wireless controller. It's got up to 8 hours of battery life. Do I know if that's true or not? I do not know, but it's 5,500 milliamps. And that's about it, you guys. This is a decent device. We'll see once I get everything plugged in. I'll see what games work and what's not. But if you want to see a more further in depth of this device, let me know. But this is the Anbernic RG556. And this is their latest mid-range device, under $200. It's got a decent processor. It can play a lot of games, and you have the option to buy SD cards if you want games with it. If not, you have your own collection. You can add those to it. But like I said, it seems like it works pretty good. You click in it, click out, and then you have straight up Android too. So again, guys, this has been Jason with TunaTech. Shout out to my daughter who made this art for me for my channel, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.